This is CBC Here and Now.
Blocked. The Premier gets an injunction to stop CBC from reporting a story connected to the Brandon Phillips murder trial.
Renegotiate the Upper Churchill. The Supreme Court of Canada hears the case.
This is a contract that cries out for sharing of risks and benefits.
You buy an oyster, you never know what color pearl you're going to get, or oh my goodness, you could get twins.
Shucking on Facebook Live for money and fun.
Well, it was a beautiful sunrise across the big land this morning and a pretty nice day, but there's snow on the way for Labrador for tomorrow. Newfoundland, the rain and a little bit of snow arrives tomorrow night. The details are coming up.
The jury is out at the Brandon Phillips first-degree murder trial.
And that means we can now report other news related to this case.
Premier Dwight Ball got an injunction to stop the CBC from publishing a story about evidence in that trial. And here now's Ariana Kellen is here with our top story. Ariana?
Well, Debbie, Anthony, there's not a whole lot we can tell you about this case. There's a publication ban on what happened in court. The injunction applies to documents entered as an exhibit at the Brandon Phillips first-degree murder trial. But the jury never actually saw those documents. Dwight Ball filed the application yesterday at Supreme Court. Chief Justice Raymond Whalen kept the courthouse open late to deal with the matter. The application named CBC and all other media outlets as respondents, and the case is back in court on December 19th. Now, we have reported on Dwight Ball's connection to this case before, and his name did come up in open court during the 4-week trial. The Premier's daughter, Jade Ball, was Phillips' girlfriend at the time of the shooting at the Captain's Quarters Hotel. Both Phillips and Jade Ball were under police surveillance in the days after the shooting. Some of the surveillance included the Tiffany, where Dwight Ball had an apartment at the time. Dwight Ball, of course, was not the Premier. He was just weeks away from the election that swept him into the province's top political job. And I should mention that Jade Ball has never been accused of any wrongdoing. Now, the jury in the Brandon Phillips trial was sequestered this afternoon, and they did begin deliberations. And that's where we're going to bring in Fred Hutton, who's been covering the trial. Fred, what's the latest?
Well, Ariana, they wrapped up their deliberations at 5 o'clock this afternoon. After only about an hour and a half, they're sequestered this evening. As you mentioned, they're at a local hotel. No cell phones, no access to internet, TV, or the radio. Now, the 6 men and 6 women spent the morning listening to Justice Valerie Marshall give her final instructions. She reminded the jurors that they must be unanimous in their decision and that there are strict criteria to follow in order to find Brandon Phillips guilty of the first-degree murder of Larry Wellman. That includes that he meant to harm or kill Wellman, and that the act was planned and deliberate. Now, it's an unusual case in so much as Wellman had never met Phillips, but was shot and killed when he tried to stop the armed robbery at the Captain's Quarters Hotel.
Well, Fred, if they can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Phillips is guilty of first-degree murder, what are the options?
Well, Anthony, the jury, they'll have a couple of paths they can go down. If, as they mentioned, they can't find him guilty of first-degree murder, they can find him guilty of the lesser charges of second-degree murder, or, of course, they can find him guilty of manslaughter, or perhaps even find him not guilty altogether. Now, if you're watching what the defense have been up to, they obviously would like him to be found not guilty, but possibly they're thinking that it may be manslaughter, and that's what Mark Ruschi said in his final summations. And it's interesting to watch Mark Ruschi and Jeff Brace during this trial. They defended Brandon Phillips. He, of course, pled not guilty to the charge of first-degree murder, but at no point did either lawyer reference their client specifically as the person who was there that night of the shooting. And that's what this is at the heart of this case, really. There are no eyewitnesses because the gunman was masked and all the DNA evidence is circumstantial. In fact, DNA from 4 people was detected on the gun that was found at Phillips' mother's house, but Brandon Phillips' DNA was not on that weapon. So the jury, they obviously have a very difficult decision to make, but they're not going to make it tonight. The deliberations ended at 5 o'clock. They'll be back in the courthouse here tomorrow morning at 9:30. Reporting live for Here and Now, Fred Hutton, CBC News, St. John's.
And now more developments in our top story tonight. We have just received a written statement from Dwight Ball's lawyer regarding the court injunction, and it reads, in October of 2015, Dwight Ball, as a private citizen, provided information of his own accord to the police regarding a homicide. He recognizes that as a public figure, his actions in assisting the police in 2015 are now arguably a matter of public interest. But as a father, he has acted to protect the privacy of an innocent person, and the statement goes on to say, "You will appreciate that he cannot comment on this matter while it is before the courts."
In other news now, new legislation will mean the child and youth advocate must be told when a child is killed or seriously injured. It's something the advocate has pushed for years. But there are some areas where critics say it falls short. Here now's Peter Cowan is live with the details. Peter, what's in this legislation?
Well, Debbie, this legislation will mean that if a child or youth is under the care of social workers or involved with the justice system and they're injured or they're killed, then the child and youth advocate will have to be told about it right away. Now, 3 years ago, the House of Assembly agreed to that general concept, but now the legislation is actually coming in. The child and youth advocate likes the law, but the opposition says it comes up short.
It's not an incident, it's not a situation, it is an injury to a child. So again, it's more focused on the child, and the magnitude is higher. Then we really want to focus on the injury or the potential injury, whether it's physical or emotional.
For example, if you have a group of children on a school bus and the driver is impaired, that doesn't necessarily have to be reported because it's with the Department of Education, but there's a potential for a very serious injury to happen to the children. We feel these kinds of situations need to be encompassed because all children are important. All children need a voice.
Now, still with the House of Assembly, today the Health Minister announced a review of ambulance services in the province. Peter, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this comes out of a series of stories that CBC News has done about poor ambulance service in Happy Valley Goose Bay. The ambulance company, according to the province, didn't live up to its contract, so it's been cancelled, and instead Labrador Grenfell Health is now providing the service directly. But since those stories, the minister says he's heard from other areas who have other concerns. So now all ambulance service in the province are going to be audited.
We really need to get a snapshot at the moment of what the situation really is, given the concerns that were raised in Goose Bay and the suggestion they may not be isolated ones. I think it's really important that we as a department and the people of this province have some confidence in the ambulance service that's out there when they need it.
Now, the minister said today that when the contracts for the ambulances come up for renewal, he says some are, those will be happening early in the new year. The government is going to be looking for changes to try and improve the service.
That's Peter Cowan reporting live in our studio. The Supreme Court of Canada was asked today to reopen the 1969 Upper Churchill contract. So far, the lopsided hydro deal has generated $28 billion for Hydro-Quebec, versus about $2 billion for Newfoundland and Labrador. Lawyer Doug Mitchell argued the contract should be renegotiated to reflect the vastly different circumstances that exist now compared to when the contract was signed. He says negotiators almost 50 years ago could not have possibly foreseen how energy markets would have changed, allowing huge profits for Hydro-Quebec.
It's a long-term contract, which by very definition the parties cannot foresee all of what is to take place in the future. And the proper analysis, in my view, is to take the instances of sharing of risks and benefits and to say, what do you do when you have unforeseen risks? You do the same thing. You go back to the nature of the contract. This is a contract that cries out for sharing of risks and benefits when Hydro-Quebec bargained for $6 billion of power and is getting $250 billion.
The man accused of killing Harold May of Badger and Sean Briffett of Glovertown has been found not guilty. Bobby Bartlett was acquitted of 2 counts of dangerous driving causing death and 3 counts of dangerous driving causing bodily harm. May and Briffett were killed nearly 3 years ago. They were in a taxi van that collided head-on with a pickup truck south of Edmonton. The pickup was allegedly driven by Bartlett. Another Newfoundland man was seriously injured in the crash. The trial judge found that a conviction was not likely.
A water main break closed a hospital in St. John's for several hours this morning. The pipe broke under a section of Lamarchant Road, and with no water, officials temporarily closed St. Clair's Mercy Hospital. Emergency services continued. The hospital postponed all other clinical services until water was restored at around 10 o'clock. Anybody who missed a scheduled appointment will be contacted for rescheduling. I don't know if it's the kind of weather that actually makes water mains freeze or what, but we do have that problem in the city.
Yeah.
Weather?
Typically cold weather brings it on, I think, and a little more common, it seems, in the wintertime. But anyway, it was a beautiful start to the day in Happy Valley Goose Bay and parts of Labrador. We had more onshore drizzle and flurries here in the east, and we'll continue to see a little bit of the same for the next few hours, but things are going to change first in Labrador. Let's again have that look at that picture off the top of the show. Thanks to Mary Ellen, who sent this beautiful sunrise picture of what a great start it was in Happy Valley Goose Bay. This is why things are about to change. Big system coming out of the interior parts of North America, and this is wrapping in some colder air into southern Ontario over the next 24 hours with snow squalls there, and into our neck of the woods. It's going to be snow on the leading edge of this warm front, and then a mix over to some rain as we roll through the next 24 hours or so. Now, unfortunately, my clicker is not going to help me out on this one. So I will tell you that while Labrador is looking at generally in that 5 to 10 centimeter range for some, we could see up to 20 centimeters from Labrador City to Churchill Falls to Happy Valley Goose Bay. And across the island, we're looking at, a late day arrival tomorrow with some showers mixing to some flurries over the west coast in the higher elevations. But anyway, we'll walk you through your full timeline. I'll make sure I have the other clicker. Thankfully, there's two. The full forecast coming up in a few minutes.
I'm Colleen Connors in Isla Mort, where at the heart of this community, the school may be closing next year.
It's a family-oriented school. It's second to none.
I think I would rather stay in our school.
I'll tell you what the town and the parents and students think of this drastic change.
Fish NL's fight for certification could be further delayed. That's according to their president, Ryan Cleary. Cleary says the lead investigator with the Labor Relations Board is no longer handling his group's application, which was put in over a year ago. Cleary also says efforts to verify the eligibility of harvesters is causing problems.
We have a situation here, Terry, where it's neighbor investigating neighbor. The process is not working. So I think from our perspective, the Labor Relations Board has to rethink how this process is going. So to have a situation where harvesters are investigating other harvesters to see if they're bona fide harvesters is just not working. It's an absolute mess. We call it it's just a nightmare.
To central Newfoundland now, where two women are shucking for online sales. They've created a live streaming pearl selling business.
And the key to that success, the pearls, and I didn't know this, but apparently the pearls' personalities. Here now is Garrett Barry reports.
Disgusting. Cracking open an oyster to see what's inside. This is two friends shucking a craft sale with a twist.
It's addicting. I'm still not sure what's addicting about it. I know it's fun to watch people you may know. You get to know people. You buy an oyster, you never know what color pearl you're going to get, or oh my goodness, you could get twins or whatever.
You buy a packaged oyster and then watch the women open it live on Facebook. Think of it as the shopping channel, hosted by two Newfoundlanders.
Kate! Just as we went, Lord. Needs a couple bottles of wine for them.
The charm keeps the audience coming back.
If nobody wants to buy it, it's still fun because you get on and you talk to people and people are commenting, cracking jokes with you and saying silly things and that because you get your regulars. We're told we're hilarious. We're always being told, you crack me up, I love watching you guys.
About 25 hours a week goes into this. 8 hours streaming and there's prep to do. Packages to be sent. Oysters to be ordered from Japanese farms. They've come a long way since their first broadcast in April.
My stomach was churning in so many ways. And I was afraid that once I hit that button that not a word was going to come out.
They make a few $100s each week. It's not chump change, but it's the friendships that keep them going.
Get your hands. Get your hands.
You got twins! It's just me and Janice hanging out with all these other people. Just kind of like party. And instead of serving drinks and snacks, we're opening up oysters to find pearls.
Two Friends Shuckin' is live every Monday and Thursday night, and for $20, you can crack open an oyster like this and find out what type of pearl you'll find inside. Garrett Berry, CBC News, Gander.
These items are needed to make some people's Christmas. Find out about the Need Something, Got Something Christmas campaign. That's ahead. Welcome back once again. Well, this time of the year is when people think about giving to those in need. But a CBS woman has been giving all year long through a unique Facebook site she set up. A site where you can find something you need, but also give something you don't need. Carla Crotty called it Need Something, Got Something, and I dropped by her place today. So Carla, why did you want to start a Facebook group like this?
Well, I found myself fresh out of a job in the oil and gas industry a couple of years ago. You know, I felt the financial crunch of working in an industry that was providing for me to all of a sudden being unemployed for 5 months.
And you have 3 children?
I do have 3 children. I'm a single mom. So I definitely saw a need in the community through my job. And started this group basically to put people in the community in touch with some much needed items.
So Carla, how does this Facebook group work?
Unlike your traditional Facebook classified group that you'll see where people are buying, selling, trading items that they no longer need, Need Something, Got Something puts people in touch with individuals who have items to offer, furniture, toiletry items, food items, that they no longer need in their home, and pass along to individuals in the community who aren't otherwise able to afford the items themselves.
And you hear from people through your group who are looking for certain things.
Oh, for sure. We field messages on a daily basis from people who find themselves struggling for a number of reasons, and find themselves unable to provide like the basic necessities to their families. So it might be a kitchen table, maybe their washer has all of a sudden broke down in their home as a single parent with 3 children trying to keep up with laundry. So the group is trying to serve a purpose of filling a need for those people.
Carla, this seems like a pretty big undertaking. You have thousands of people who've joined the Facebook group. You do have help with this, don't you?
Oh, for sure. It's definitely a big group effort. You see Suzanne and Heather here now. They're 2 of the 8 admins that we have that run the group on a day-to-day basis.
All volunteer?
All volunteer. This is certainly not paid for any of us, but you can see what they're doing here. These are a bunch of donations that we've taken in over the last couple of days for a Christmas initiative that we have undertaken. We've got about 95 families that we're aiming to assist in the way of food and toys for Christmas this year. But as you can see, space is kind of at a premium.
Are you getting enough things to meet the demand, though?
Definitely not. I'm not sure if people really understand the demand that's out there. We have a lot of traditional community supports that are providing to people this time of year in the way of food and toy hampers, but there are a lot of people that don't qualify for assistance for those programs for whatever reasons.
What kind of a response are you getting from people who have joined your group on Facebook?
The reaction has been pretty positive, I have to say. The group has grown tremendously, 14,000 members. I would say as many people in the group to give as there is to avail of posts in the group. And we hear from people all the time who are really just honestly moved to have been able to impact another individual's life in the community. This time of year especially, we hear from a lot of people struggling to make ends meet with the added pressures of Christmas. Just recently I heard from a lady who has been on disability herself for a couple of years. Her husband has just found himself undergoing some pretty major surgery. Christmas is upon us, and this is what she says: "I'm very depressed this year in not being able to buy my grandchildren and great-grandchildren any Christmas gifts. If there is any way I could be helped, even with a Christmas dinner for myself and my husband, it would be very much appreciated. Thank you all so very much, and may God bless you for the good you are doing."
That's what it's all about, isn't it, Carla?
That's exactly why we do what we're doing.
Well, as we get closer to Christmas, of course, obviously busy for Carla, and a very touching story there with that woman asking for help. But it's also a busy time for food banks across the province.
The Community Food Sharing Association does its part to help stock those shelves all over Newfoundland and Labrador, but it's not easy.
Here now is Germain stopped by their warehouse to ask what the demand is like at this time of year, and the big question, will it be met?
They've gone up marginally each year, probably 2 or 3% a year. I think our last year's we went up about 5%, but we're certainly no worse off than we were, probably 8 or 9 years ago, which is positive. I mean, given the way the economy is these days. Well, we have a lot of groups, community groups that would like to come in the evening, like Johnson's Insurance and Alcor, Investors Group. We have a lot of school kids, brownies and guides and cadets that come in after hours, come in the evening and box and sort the product. And without their volunteerism, I mean, we'd be sunk without them. We're in fairly good shape. We were in kind of rough shape as we got into September. Our supplies were really drastically low, but with the City of St. John's food drive and the downtown Santa Claus parade, and we know that the Feed NL Day coming up is going to be tremendous. We've already had, groups and organizations saying, we want to contribute next week to this, so we should be in a good position as we move towards Christmas.
Feed NL Day is our annual Christmas campaign, and we're trying to raise as much money in non-perishables as we can for food banks in the province. So on Friday, if you're in St. John's, you can come to CBC at any time from 6 a.m. up until 7 p.m. and donate either non-perishables or cash. You can also visit us at the Avalon Mall from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. where we'll be having our gift wrapping station so people can get their purchases wrapped by making a donation to Feed NL. So in Gander, they'll be collecting all day as well from 6 a.m. until 5 p.m. if you want to donate either non-perishables or cash. In Corner Brook, during their morning show from 7 to 9 a.m., you can drive by and make a donation. And in Labrador, which is happening on December 15th, they'll be doing their Feed NL Turkey Drive.
As Katie just mentioned, we are going to have Feed NL Day this Friday, live from the Avalon Mall.
That's right, and don't forget for you viewers in Labrador, it's a week later, so a week from Friday for you guys. Expecting to have a great show this Friday too. Here and I'll be coming live from the Avalon Mall. Hope to see lots of you there and help you wrap your gifts, although I'll get Ryan, he's a better wrapper than I am.
Farmers Market is so proud to be one of the grand prize winners for the 2017 Aviva Community Fund.
Getting money to go green.
Hello, Ryan.
Oh, hi. Who are you?
I'm Giver the Moose. How goes the gift wrapping?
Not too bad, thanks. What do you think?
The forecast? Partly crummy with scattered packages. You better practice the wrapping because we're heading off to the Avalon Mall for Feed NL Day on December the 8th.
How did you get the name Giver?
Well, we want all generous people to really give her on Feed NL Day, and you can buy me for just $10. And all the proceeds, 100% support the Community Food Sharing Association.
Oh, isn't that nice? Well, definitely. Well, you know what, Giver?
What?
I think you would make a pretty good stocking stuffer.
Wait a second. I'm trying to see the wall.
Go ahead, Giver.
I didn't know Debbie could get her voice that deep. That's a beautiful picture.
This comes from Stacy Aubin in Harbour Breton.
Beautiful sunlight.
We were debating whether that was an afternoon or evening picture. What do you think? I mean, morning or afternoon? I think it's afternoon.
Oh, I was going to say morning.
Oh.
Really? Isn't there all steam and stuff when it's like that? Or
Not always, but you'll have to
It's
let
a
us know,
dandy.
Stacey. Yeah, beautiful picture either way.
Well, getting back to that promo for Feed NL, I hope there'll be lots of givers scooped up on Friday at least.
That's right. Yeah, and again, $10 to take home a little giver of your own, and again, a great stocking stuffer idea. Fits nicely in that stocking.
Yeah. All the money, of course, goes to help Feed NL. Tuesday?
Yeah, that means it's your chance to win one of these.
Yeah, that's right.
And not you, the hat.
Yes.
That's right.
Win a meteorologist. It's our new contest. That toque that Mr. Snoddon is wearing.
Take me home, put me in your closet, and every time it snows, you can beat me over with the head with a shoe. Thanks to the picture that Anthony loaded in there. Thanks, Anthony. And our winner from last week, by the way, Jackie Doucette, there she is. She sent us this great selfie. She was our Facebook winner, and our Twitter winner was Dion Philpott. And now, this week, the $1 million question to win a toque.
Right. Here Now wants to help you with your Christmas shopping, and all you have to do is tell us who you would give the toque to and why. I think I've got one right here somewhere to show off. Here we go. Yes, this beauty.
Nice.
Who would you give it to and why?
That's right.
Okay, on Twitter, you can send your answers to @DebbieCooperCBC.
Or on my Facebook page. I don't have it quite loaded up yet, but right after the weather forecast, I'll post a picture and you can let us know.
Excellent.
Sound good?
Yeah, and if you win, send us a selfie of you in your toque.
That's right. Toque Tuesday, right through till Christmas at least. Not sure what the supply's looking like now.
We'll deal with that later.
Go easy, go easy.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, weather forecast time, and take a look at Eastern Canada right now in that big warm push of air. 14 in New York, 10 in Ottawa, 7 in Toronto. But note the minus 15 in Kenora right now, and the cold air really pooling in behind this big system. And as I pop on the satellite and radar picture, there's the low directing all the traffic. There's the warm push, cold air wrapping in on the other side. We're going to see a big lake effect snow event firing up across, well, northern parts of New York and then across southern Ontario as well. Big area of high pressure is in control right now, but we've continued to see that onshore flow with some flurries and drizzle across the Avalon and northeastern parts of Newfoundland. That continues through tonight. Yeah, lingering chance into tomorrow morning, but we'll see some sun tomorrow as well. Then that system rolls into our neck of the woods. We have special weather statements in effect for Churchill Falls, Churchill Valley, Happy Valley Goose Bay, Rigolette, and the Straits. And this is where we have the best chance of seeing over 10 centimeters of snow. Here's my snowfall map. Again, in that white, that's where we have the 10 to 20 centimeter potential. Most of Labrador looking at that 5 to 10 centimeter range, and even the Northern Peninsula, higher elevations could see more than 5 centimeters, especially for the northern tip. And the Bayvert Peninsula could see a slushy trace to 5 centimeters for tomorrow night. And we'll show you the map in just a second. Wind warnings are also in effect. Wreckhouse will gust to 120, ramping up tomorrow afternoon, really peaking tomorrow evening, and we could see some gusts in the 100 kilometer per hour range along exposed areas of the coast all the way up to Corner Brook. And this is how it times out. There's the snow on the leading edge of this system, which moves into Happy Valley Goose Bay. Not quite for the drive to work tomorrow, but not too far in behind. -2 for Labrador City to start the day, -2 in Port aux Basques. Cooler temperatures for pretty much everybody else. St. John's near -1 to start the day tomorrow, with northerly winds continuing. As we work throughout the day tomorrow, there's the snow pushing into Labrador. On the island, I think we'll see a few wet flakes certainly mixing in. Massey Drive down those higher elevations, and then it's changed to rain as those warmer temps come in, and we see that those periods of rain taking over Burgeo, Stephenville, Corner Brook through the evening hours. Increasing clouds across the rest of the island. Again, St. John's, Clarenville, Bonavista, that early flurry morning risk, and then that tapers off with some sun. And there's the snow building into Labrador through the day tomorrow, arriving in the evening for the southeast. And there is that timeline that tracks that snow in. By Thursday morning, we're still seeing some mixing in the higher elevations, then back over to some flurries for Thursday for pretty much everybody along the west coast. Showers, central and eastern Newfoundland on Thursday, and it's some lingering scattered flurries on the menu in Labrador. Again, with that southerly flow, yes, we'll see the showers, but temperatures in that 5-6 degree range for the Avalon and the Burin Peninsula. Back to the freezing mark. Temperatures actually falling through the afternoon in central and western parts of Newfoundland on Thursday. And as we roll through into Friday, again, bit of a calm period, and then another chance of some showers, even some flurries mixing in for Friday across the island as temperatures hover in that 2 to 4 degree range, a little cooler in the west. And there is, again, some sunshine back on the menu in most of Labrador. We'll talk about that weekend, maybe some snow for the island. Details on that ahead. Debbie?
Thanks, Ryan. Well, the St. John's Farmers Market is almost $50,000 richer today. The cooperative was awarded an Aviva Community Fund for its green dining project. The money will go towards purchasing reusable plates for on-site meals and reusable takeout containers for take-home. The hope is to create a zero-waste dining space. Currently, all meals are served in disposable containers.
So Aviva is also supporting us in outfitting that dining area to make it a really pleasant place to be. And so taken together, this investment is going to shrink our waste footprint by thousands of containers every week. So we'd like to thank, first and foremost, the many community members whose votes got us here. And we'd like to thank Aviva again. This is our second win in 3 years. They've been a great partner to this project, helping it get going and now helping it be an environmentally sustainable space.
The St. John's Edge are back in action at Mile 1 tonight. They face the London Lightning after coming off 2 weekend wins at home. And if you've ever wondered, and I thought about this, how do arena officials actually turn a floor that's normally ice covered into a basketball court? Well, take a look at this. This obviously is a speeded up video that the Edge team has posted to its Twitter account, and it shows the folks at Mile 1 transforming the place into an official professional basketball court. And you, of course, see it happening over 30 or so seconds. And as you can imagine, it's a lot slower in real time to make sure that everything is in place by game time. By the way, tonight's match starts at 7 o'clock, and the two teams, the Edge and London Lightning, will go at it again tomorrow night.
Pretty impressive. Well, not so impressive was Team Gushew's loss last night. It was a hard loss at the Olympic trials in Ottawa. They lost 7-4 to Brad Jacobs, the reigning Olympic champion. Bad luck was a key factor after Gushew's final stone hit some debris. That allowed Jacobs to steal 3 and put the game out of reach. Gushew is now 2-2 with 4 must-win games remaining before the playoffs start.
Caitlin Osmond is celebrating her birthday today in Japan. The 22-year-old landed in Nagoya this morning, and she's there getting ready for this weekend's big Grand Prix final. Osmond hits the ice, so to speak, on Friday for the women's short program. It's always exciting to watch her skate.
It is. I get really nervous. Good luck to her, and of course, good luck to the Gushue team. They're in tough in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of sports to watch. Hearing the case, the Upper Churchill contract heads to the Supreme Court of Canada. Welcome back to Here and Now. The highest court in the country is hearing opposing arguments about the contentious Churchill Falls hydro deal between this province and Quebec. Newfoundland and Labrador wants the Supreme Court of Canada to reopen the deal because it isn't fair. Quebec has generated $28 billion since it was inked back in 1969 versus about $2 billion for this province. Ed Hollett is an energy researcher and writer. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
How significant is it, Ed, that this even got to the Supreme Court of Canada?
In some respects, it's, if you look at the cases that have been decided, or this case has been decided twice already in Quebec courts, and it's been fairly conclusive, it would be kind of surprising ordinarily for a case like this to get to the Supreme Court. But because it involves a contentious, historically difficult contract, the courts decided to hear it, as I gather. So it's very significant. It also has some potential implications for other contract law, both in Quebec and outside, depending on how the court finds.
So obviously the highest court in the land thought this was significant enough to actually examine it and hear it. Our province's argument in this seems to be that over the course of time, the deal has become patently unfair.
If you read the brief presented to the court, CFLCO, Churchill Falls Labrador Corporation, the company that owns Churchill Falls, is arguing the fact that there's a partnership, there's a long-term relationship between Hydro-Quebec and CFLCO, and that over the course of the time, the relationship has become unbalanced. It's not just about that the contract's unfair, but that the relationship is unbalanced. Hydro-Quebec is now gaining more than the other partner.
Right.
Hydro-Quebec's response is that it's just simply a sale for the purchase of, or it's a contract for the purchase of power from a seller, and that's all it is. And if you look at it in that context, what they bargained for in 1969 is exactly what they're still getting based on the circumstances at the time. So those are the 2 points in a nutshell.
So the Quebec argument is essentially this, and correct me if I'm wrong, that we made this deal because we wanted a fixed price, and that's what we got.
Their argument is that at the time, CFLCO, which was actually owned and operated as a private company, a partnership between Brinko and Hydro-Quebec, wanted to build a power plant. They didn't have the financial backing, the financial wherewithal to do it, and Hydro-Quebec provided the guarantee. In exchange for the guarantee, Hydro-Quebec got the power at a fixed price. And from Hydro-Quebec's standpoint, CFLCO, now owned by the province, benefits because it has this plant which is profitable. It was brought into service under budget and on time. It produces money every year. It's a profitable company. And they get the other benefit in exchange for the risk that they took in backstopping what was at that time, I think, the largest energy project in North America.
Right, because when people take a look at this deal, they say, yes, Newfoundland and Labrador, you're not making as much as Quebec, but you didn't have to accept the risk, right?
And it's important to remember, it wasn't the Newfoundland government that was a party to the contract in 1969. It was a private company called Brinko, headquartered in Montreal, that had rights to develop the resources in Labrador. It only became a government-to-government problem in 1974-75 when the Newfoundland government nationalized Brinko.
This has become such a thorn between Newfoundlanders and Quebecers, and certainly in the relations between the 2 provinces. Here we are. This is the last judicial stop, right? This is a Supreme Court hearing. Once this goes, whichever way it goes, what's your sense of where things will go between relations between our 2 provinces?
I think there's a public reaction, a popular reaction, which won't change one way or the other. People will always believe, particularly if the decision is against CFLCO, will always believe that you can't get a fair shake. But the relationship between Hydro-Quebec and CFLCO has been, or between Hydro-Quebec and Nalcor, has been getting much better again lately. And the relationship between the 2 provincial governments has been actually very good all the time that this has been going on. There have been periods of intense rivalry, but for the most part, the relationships are civil because both provinces have an interest in working together in Labrador for their mutual benefit, both in energy and in other projects.
Well, Ed, it's always good to have your thoughts on this. Of course, it'll be months before we know what the court determines, but thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
This is the final year for the Rick Mercer Report, so it's only fitting that he comes home to do a show.
Yeah, part of tonight's episode takes Rick behind the scenes at the Rooms in St. John's.
And while there, he surprises a visiting school group.
The Rick Mercer Report airs tonight on CBC television at 8:30 Island Time.
It is time now to introduce our young athlete of the day. This is Max Osborne of Paradise. Max is 8 years old and played with the Paradise All-Star soccer team last summer.
And he also played house league soccer, and soccer is Max's passion, but he also plays hockey with the Paradise Warriors, not to mention basketball, and he's an avid swimmer.
Congratulations, Max. You're today's young athlete of the day.
Nice
Boy,
smile.
He's pretty active.
Definitely.
All the sports.
Yeah. So as we take a look at temperatures across North America right now, again, the big story over the next couple days, you're going to start to hear the northeast parts of the U.S. talking about snow threats. So New York, Boston.
Snow threats?
Yeah, New York, Boston, the first chance of some snow in that neck of the woods for this coming season. So, of course, that'll be making all the headlines if, you know, the president doesn't take them all. Now, as we take a look at current temperatures across North America right now, you can see how about Oklahoma City? 5 degrees. That's pretty chilly even for that neck of the woods right now. And that cold air will continue, as I mentioned last night, to push south. And New Orleans at 27, Nashville at 7. Yeah, that's going to be evened out in another 24 hours or so as that cold front continues to push southward. We're going to be seeing some snow potential as far south, as I mentioned, is those southern states. Now, that system, again, the same one that's rolling into our neck of the woods with snow on the leading edge, and we will see that change over to rain as we move across the island. And here's how it plays out. There's that snow. We're generally looking at 5 to 10 centimeters, but there's a 10 to 15, even 20 centimeter potential from Rigolette to Goose Bay to Churchill Falls and back to Labrador City. Now, by Thursday at 7 a.m., it's going to be rain moving across the island. It looks like kind of a damp day on Thursday, no question about it, but temperatures rise in the 5-6 degree range across eastern Newfoundland, and you can see where the cold air will mix back in, and I think by Friday, we are looking at the chance of some flurries over western parts of Newfoundland, central, likely some flurries in the mix, though I think it's a shower or wet flurry mix for the Burin and the Avalon Peninsula. Now, quickly zooming all the way back, this, again, this old front that's still stalled out, basically where the cold air and the warm air are doing battle, stretches all the way back down to Florida. And this is where we're going to start to see the potential for some snow in southeastern parts of the U.S. That threat climbs up the eastern seaboard into the northeast, including Boston and New York. Now, watch our timeline. Saturday morning, I think it's a quiet start initially, but through Saturday morning, that snow potential then starts to climb across the island. Now, some forecast models are showing almost a quick change and an initial start of rain across the Avalon and the Burin Peninsulas, though some forecast models, as you can see here, are showing the potential for some snow, so not ruling that out. Better chance of some snow for central and western parts of Newfoundland through Saturday, and then again, forecast models are showing an eventual push of some warmer air and a change to rain, especially across the eastern half of the island. And in fact, heavy rain potential here for eastern parts of Newfoundland, where I think west and into Labrador looking set to stay all or mostly snow. So lots to swallow there, but again, the potential for some snow on the leading edge certainly for Saturday, and maybe all snow for central and west on Saturday, and then a potential for some mixing on Sunday in central. So if you do have some travel plans this weekend, what you're going to want to do is keep an eye on that forecast. Lots of variables at play here. The system track, the timing, all of this is going to be key over the next couple days, and you can see in Labrador pretty much sitting this one out Friday, Saturday, but Sunday, the potential for some light snow moving in for you as well.
Turning now to national and international news, there is fresh hope for a trade deal between Canada and China. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has left Beijing, but his trade minister is staying behind to continue talks. The CBC's Katie Simpson reports from China.
It has been a day of unexpected drama stretching right into the early morning here in China. There are signs that both countries are moving closer to agreeing to launch free trade talks. Canadian and Chinese officials held closed-door meetings all day, trying to find enough common ground to move forward. Discussions continued at the highest level as the Prime Minister and his Canadian delegation met with China's president for a working dinner.
I know that as we look to building a better future for the entire world, the friendship between Canada and China will play an important role in setting the tone and the approach that will characterize the 21st century.
By the time the meeting was over, Canada's trade minister cancelled plans to leave Beijing and instead return to the negotiating table. The move was so unexpected, the trade minister's staff had already boarded a plane to leave town, and 15 minutes before takeoff, they had to be pulled off the flight to stay behind. The last-minute development may seem surprising, given the difficult start to Justin Trudeau's time in Beijing. Monday's tense photo ops and bilateral meetings sparked headlines suggesting the talks wouldn't move forward anytime soon. But Canada and China are willing to keep trying, at least for now. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Guangzhou.
About 27,000 people were forced to leave their homes behind in Ventura, California today. This as a fast-moving wind-fueled wildfire swept through the city about 100 kilometers west of Los Angeles.
I've been an owner for 40 years here, and it's just crazy what's gone on. And this was going to be my die-in house. The only thing is the house died before I did.
This is just one of the homes destroyed in Ventura. At least 150 other structures, including a large apartment complex and a psychiatric facility, were also consumed by flames. Ventura County is now under a state of emergency, but there's a second wildfire also burning, this one in the north end of Los Angeles. That one has forced the evacuation of 2,500 homes. It's covered LA in a blanket of smoke.
Russia has been banned from sending a team to the upcoming Winter Games in Pyeongchang. This coming February is when their games are going to be held, but the International Olympic Committee stopped short of banning all Russian athletes.
Individual clean Russian athletes will be able to participate under strict conditions at the Olympic Winter Games Pyeongchang 2018.
It's punishment for Russia's systematic doping program, specifically at what happened in Sochi 4 years ago. Individual Russian athletes will have the option to compete under the Olympic flag, but their national anthem will not be played should they win. Russian Olympic Committee leadership members and officials are banned. Russia has threatened to boycott the Games if their members cannot participate underneath Russia's banner, rather. The IOC also fined Russia's Olympic Committee $15 million US.
And here's our beautiful viewer picture of the day. This is another one from the Big Land. We're going back to the Big Land day after day here because we just had so many great photos. This one is from inland Labrador, so I'll give you that clue. And yeah, we'll leave it at that.
I got nothing.
No. The answer after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, deep into the Acadian woods near Sackville, New Brunswick, and 6 meters up a red spruce tree, you can find Alex Thomas in his home.
Yeah, I've always been super into tree houses.
Yeah, this 26-year-old built the treehouse himself, and he decked it out with the necessities, as you'll see, a kitchen, got insulation, even solar panels as well.
If you want to see it, though, tough luck. Its location is a well-kept secret, and Alex wants to keep it that way.
Yeah, talk about a true nature getaway and a great way to avoid taxes if you owe them. Here, make a few eggs now, read a book. Not much to worry about.
Actually, I've never seen a treehouse quite like that. Well, some Calgary drivers keep finding themselves stuck on a particular rock and in a hard place.
Now, watching it all happen is something of a spectator sport for people in the Calgary community of Sage Hill. People keep driving right over that rock.
Some wind up stranded right on the top, and at least one vehicle ended up rolling over. I don't know why I think that's funny.
After the latest string of mishaps, the mall owners are thinking about removing the rock.
You think?
if you're wondering why it was there in the first place, the rock was meant to keep drivers from rolling over the brightly painted concrete curbs that are there.
Not a very well thought out idea.
No. But you know, those concrete curbs that do stick out, people don't see them and they drive right over top. So I can see why initially it was a good idea. But
yeah, but you need like 10 of them.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe some big, tall pylons.
Yeah. Well, the giant rock didn't work, so try the pylons.
Something a little more car-friendly, where if you hit it, it's not going to do that. Okay, so our viewer picture of the day. I should have given the clue that it's a big river in Labrador, an almighty river, and it, of course, is?
It's the Churchill River, but we guessed.
Debbie got it.
We guessed everything: the Pinware, the Eagle, the Lewis.
That's right.
That's all the ones that could come. And did I say the Eagle?
Yes.
The spectacular rivers in Labrador. Have you been there?
Not to fish the rivers.
No, they're beautiful.
When are we going? Next spring.
Let's go on a remote shoot for Here and Now. See if we can swing that.
Anyway, I don't have the banner on oh, there, I do have it. Vanita Moores was the one that took the picture.
Beautiful.
So that's the Churchill from Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Oh, okay, that's the vantage.
Yes.
Excellent.
Beautiful lighting.
Thanks very much for sending that along, and that'll do it for us this evening. Get in on our Took Tuesday contest.
That's right.
Don't forget to do that.
Debbie's Twitter.
Debbie
my
Cooper,
Facebook.
CBC, and Ryan's Facebook.
Who would you give the toque to and why?
See you all tomorrow.
Bye now.
Good night.